The domination the Rolling Stones had on the rock and roll scene of the 60s and the 70s was absolutely insane. The Beatles were still at the top, and this animosity they had between them was a made-up thing by the media and fans, but what is true is that in terms of success and critical acclaim, no one but the Rolling Stones was able to rival the Beatles. And though pretty much every album they released in the 60s and the 70s is really good, there's 4 albums that led their dominance, and the most shocking thing is, they were released in a row. It all begins with Beggar's Banquet, released in 1968, album that was released after their psychedelic failure and worked as a sign that the Stones were back to what they did best, pure, raw, and passionate rock and roll. In this album, they use folk and blues to adorn their songwriting with storytelling properties that shine even more in their next album, 1969's Let It Bleed. This is by far the most well-executed album out of the 4. Give Me Shelter was pure rock and roll apocalypse, and even if you prefer the most aggressive approach on the previous album, the explosion of sexuality displayed throughout Let It Bleed completed the first half of this amazing run in a beautiful way. The next album is where their songwriting peaked, and 1971's Sticky Fingers has some of the best rock songs of all time, and even in moments like the highly criticized Brown Sugar and You Gotta Move, there's no doubt that a lot of intention and planning went in the process of including those songs in the album, making one of the most polished and well-executed rock albums of all time. This album was responsible for not only their biggest commercial success to date, but also solidifying Jagger and Richard as one of the most prolific songwriting duos of the time. But the best was yet to come. I've said it a couple times before, but I'll say it again. In my opinion, 1972's Exile on Main Street is the most well-performed album in the history of music, no matter the genre. The songwriting, instrumentation, and any other factor is probably better in any of the other albums, but the level of passion, fun, energy, euphoria, and many other emotions found in the performances in this album is ridiculous. Thus, completing a run of albums that's perfect not only because of their quality, but also because it's a great representation of all the elements needed to be a great band. And those are the ability to reinvent themselves, finding their identity, perfecting their craft, and perfecting it to the point where it feels like they don't even need to try to make an amazing album.